I would be a terrible father. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Pedro, you are suddenly becoming #1 pop culture father figure to green guys, to post-apocalyptic children. So, did you ever ask yourself, why are you suddenly becoming this perfect father figure?
I have no idea. What a trick. I would be a terrible father. No, I'm just kidding. I think that it's exciting to be able to step into parts like this for a character's identity to be shaped around the love that they have for a child or an adopted child. It really is a very rich way of discovering what a character is capable of. It is like the best music to play emotionally, because of how threatening the love can be, because of how easily it can hurt you, and how threatening the world can be because your child might be at risk.
So I was wondering if you could choose any kid from any pop culture movie or show, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh. What a good question. Gosh, I can't choose. I can't. But I went through an entire kaleidoscope of memories.
Okay, let's move on. So I was wondering, how did you and Gabriel work on Tommy and Joel's Last Inheritors for the show, and how do you feel representing that in such a beloved franchise?
I think that I'm Chilean American. I was born in Chile, but I was less than 2 years old when we arrived to San Antonio, Texas. He's born and raised in Austin, and it was just really, really exciting that interestingly, the link between the two of us was more the proximity of northern San Antonio and Austin, where he grew up. And I think that the show does a beautiful job, and the video game, of including so many different kinds of perspectives. And I think that is a really invaluable way of speaking its own language in just the doing, in the casting the person that you want to cast in the role, and that person bringing who they are and what they understand of it to the telling of the story.
So we know that game adaptations haven't always been successful in television and movies. So does that make The Last of Us responsibility bigger? How do you feel about that?
I think that it's a big pressure. I think that especially the gaming audience and people that love gaming are very, very hungry for the entertainment industry to get it right, and it's obviously a trial by error process. And as far as I know, they seem to be getting closer and closer. All I know is that as far as this adaptation of the video game, it's coming from the original creator of the game and the man who loves the game more than anyone else on the planet. So I would say that we're in really good hands.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Pedro.
You're welcome.
Bella, you are so good as Ellie. I mean, it's out of this world. But I figure now you're getting used to play these badass characters. So, did you ever ask yourself, why me? And are you afraid of being like always casted as this kind of person?
I ask myself, why me, every single day. Even out loud to kind of be like, why? Before we started, I was like, why? This is awful and terrifying, but it's simultaneously the best thing ever. And I'm, in terms of like being typecasted into like this badass character, I'm not afraid of it. I think these are characters that I love to play, and maybe these are the characters that I've played on larger scales more often. But I've done like smaller films and stuff where I've played a whole range of people, and so I'm not afraid of that in the future. Like I hope I can continue to play these sorts of characters as well as like all the other interesting people.
Fantastic. Are you afraid of fan reaction since Ellie is such a beloved character?
Yeah, I am, and I'm not even afraid of all the negativity that may and is likely to occur in some realms. But I'm also afraid of all the positive stuff. I'm afraid of all of it, and excited by it at the same time. It's just to have so much attention and like reaction to something that I just enjoy. Like I loved being Ellie and being one of the leads in this, because it meant I got to spend a lot of time on set, which is my favourite place with some of my favourite people, and that's the ideal for me. And then like this whole world outside of that when it comes out and the fan reaction, be it good, bad, or everything in between, it's like it's overwhelming and exciting.
Fantastic. So, Craig, your last big project was Chernobyl. So, how did you choose to go from a project that's so rooted in history to a one that's rooted in fiction and game?
Well, I don't necessarily choose projects because of their subject matter. I choose things that I love. And after I did Chernobyl, I talked to Casey Bloys, who runs HBO, and I said, okay, you want me to make more shows for you. What do you guys want? And he said, I want whatever makes you levitate. And I said, okay, that's awesome. And then I just was looking around and I was not levitating and I was not levitating. And then I got this call that maybe The Last of Us could be a possibility, and I went right into the air, and I had this wonderful meeting with Neil, and then I talked to Casey. And to me, the reason is passion. There's a love, there's a connection to it. And it's not different probably than the love and connection that you have to it, or all these fans here in Sao Paulo who are, obsessed with the game. I am too.
Whoa.